on how to help you grow your business. Usually it has to do with UpViral. Have you ever heard of UpViral? It is an awesome contest tool. Ugh. Can I tell it's Monday? I am Planet Mitch. For those of you who don't know me, I am from giveawayrocket.com, which is up there in the corner. See, I don't know where to point. Right up there. And I noticed that it's all the way squished over in the corner. And I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, greetings to all of you. It is tip of the week day. Oh man. it's not going well so far. Can you tell? All right. Greetings to all of those of you who are here. Giveaway Rocket is designed to help you grow your business. I want to help you grow your business. And I have a whole variety of ways of doing that. One of them is regular live updates here on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. Not Pinterest. Periscope is the word I was looking for. It's good to see all of you all here. And, there's also YouTube. YouTube, I go live on my YouTube channel. All of that is done through a tool called Ecamm, which I'm using to do the broadcast, and Restream, which sends it to all those different places. So I'm happy to have you here. Usually I do a countdown timer, and usually I'm here right at the top of the hour, but I was late this morning. Through technical difficulties, I'm laughing because it was... I had to restart my machine. That's the long and the short of it. Good morning, Robin. Thank you for being here, as you usually seem to pop in on Mondays and Wednesdays when I go live. I'm just a little whacked this morning, a little confused, a little disoriented. Good news, though, for those of you who are users of UpViral, the new reports system was dropped today. Okay, maybe it was yesterday or last night. But I will warn you, and I know that the UpViral team's not going to let me say this, but there are some bugs in there. I've been testing it on their beta, and I've reported a couple of things that aren't working the way I would like to see them work. But that dropped this morning, so just be aware. It does bring some good stuff, including a reset statistics that was missing for the last couple of months. So if you're getting ready to do a campaign, and as I've taught you and preached at you, and I certainly know that all of the people in my Movers Mastermind are well aware of this, that you must do testing before you launch your campaign, and you test it thoroughly, and I have all kinds of ways of helping you learn how to do that. But you also need to reset your stats, which is back. I'm really happy to see that. Yay, a viral team. My other tip, and I don't know what's going on with this, and I have told them about this, but if you are a Safari user, don't use Safari for the reports. And I'm not going to go in and try to define what the bugs are, because that's not important right this second. But I do know there is one big glaring bug in Safari, and I see that this is freezing all over the place. See, I told you there were some bugs, and now I can't change it. I fixed it by doing a lower stream setting. That being said, I don't know why it's freezing, and hopefully that doesn't continue to happen. But anyway, just for now, if you're using UpViral and you want to look at the reports, just humor me and use Chrome or Firefox. Actually, I don't know if the problems exist in Firefox. But that has been reported, and I wish it had been fixed before they released. But that's a whole nother story. Hi, Steven. Thank you for being here, Steven. Now, there's all kinds of things that I love about UpViral. One of them is the custom domains feature. And Mark and I had a little discussion on the Copilot show 2 weeks ago about custom domains, and I noticed my little bug's not on now that I do that. There's my bug, as seen on the Copilot show. Custom domains are an awesome feature of Upfire, which I think more people should use. Now, if you're using a third-party tool as your lead page development tool, like ClickFunnels or, I don't know, Lead Pages or Convertri or one of those tools. Michael's here. Hi, Michael. Good to see you. And Michael and I had a nice conversation this morning. Michael is one of my movers, by the way, in the Movers Mastermind. It's good to have you here. By the way, in speaking of that, I have 2 slots left at the lower price. After those 2 slots are filled, the price is going up by a whole bunch because, frankly, it's too cheap right now. It is really too cheap. In terms of that celebration, one of our movers last week finished his first campaign and got 133 leads. He was doing a campaign in a small town in California for a local restaurant. And that was his first campaign of many. And the owner told him that if he got 100 new leads, he would be very excited. And they got 133 in 7 days. Now, I know some of you might be going, that's nothing. He's very excited. The owner is very excited to be building his email list. In this day of pandemic, why restaurants and small businesses aren't building their list. And I think this has been a great learning lesson for many of those people. You gotta build your list, and there's all the problems of people not opening their emails and all. And I get all that, but when you get your first 100 leads and you're excited about it, and by the way, for Jason who accomplished that, if you go based on the marketing adage that your email list is worth $1 per person per month, he now is paying for his Movers Mastermind because he got in at the low price. It's paid for. He doesn't have to do anything else other than to do traditional marketing, of course, to that list, which he's going to go like crazy. But it's now free to him, basically. All he's got to do is keep growing his list. $133 per month, he's now making $33 extra than what I'm charging him to be in the Movers Mastermind, and that can be you too. Michael said it's worth the money. Thank you, Michael. And I don't know whether you were talking about me or I assume you were talking about me in the Movers Mastermind because you're in it. Lenny's also in the Movers Mastermind. Hello, Lenny. Lenny says, gotta love realistic clients. Win-win big time. Right. I mean, Lenny, you've been in the mastermind. And you know the value that is coming through. I get really excited each and every week when I get to help people grow their list. So we've run 3 campaigns with our movers. 4. One of them, Tom's, I think he got 5 leads in his first campaign, but we did 0 promotion on that. We have redone his campaign, by the way, and he cleared 100 leads. And I've forgotten when we talked to him last time where we were on that. But so he relaunched his campaign, and that's going gangbusters. AJ brought in 1,300 leads on his first campaign. Brent's campaign is sitting, last I heard, was at 1,100 or 1,200. He crossed over the 1,000 border, and what's today? Today is the 14th. His campaign ends on the 17th, so his is coming up very soon. So what I'm telling you, and Michael, I'm telling this to you, the whole goal is to build campaigns. to get you growing your list. And our sessions involve a lot of questions, but the goal is to get your campaign go. I forgot Rita. Rita just launched her campaign. Jen joined us last week, and she is launching her campaign, I believe, this week. She was already building it through the Viral Challenge, and she has joined us over in the Movers Mastermind. So for those of you who think that nothing happens and it's just a bunch of teaching, let me tell you, the reason I called it the Movers Mastermind is because I want people moving. Michael, I'm pointing at you. I want you moving. It's great to ask questions. Mike is also somebody that is in the Movers Mastermind, and we keep talking about his campaign, but we haven't built it yet. So we want to keep you guys moving. And if you've thought about Robin, if you've thought about what we're doing, Stephen, you're here. You keep showing up and asking questions. Imagine getting access to me. Lenny said, you spend long hours with everyone, no doubt about the value. Thank you. Michael said, thank you for this morning. It was a good conversation, and I can't wait to have more conversations with you, Michael, when you get in and you start asking questions. And I'm not picking on Michael, but part of the problem with people, let me rephrase that. I'm going to rewind that. And I'm raising my hand. I'm pointing at myself because I have had this challenge myself. It is hard to ask for help. Some people have a whole lot of trouble asking for help. We don't want to feel like maybe we don't know everything. Oh my God, we do. We are all like that. And the whole purpose of the Movers Mastermind is to be open and to have people come in and ask questions and to get help. And we all work together. It's not just the Mitch show, although I am the leader. Friday, Jen got a whole bunch of good tips from everybody that showed up on the Q&A. And so the goal is to get moving, right? And Michael, you're welcome. The goal is to get you moving. And now, and I laugh because the Movers Mastermind was me just getting moving. It started poorly. It started slowly. And Lenny will tell you that I tried to start something last year and I didn't manage to make it happen. It's about moving. You can't make progress if you're sitting back going, oh, I wonder what I should do. I just got it started. I tried a couple of things last year. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. I found this model for running a mastermind, and I love the way it works. And it's all about moving. Excited for the group and your membership thriving. Thank you, Lenny. And you are a great cheerleader. I appreciate that a lot. More than I can say. Michael and I, one of the things we talked about actually was the custom domain, wasn't it? Michael's gone and set up a custom domain. Look at that. Met Michael Ridkin? I've forgotten how you say that. Ricken? I am really bad at foreign names. I'm bad at my own name, which is why I know. I call myself Planet Mitch because that way it's easier. But Michael, look at that. He's got it set up. He's got his first custom domain set up. Now that's actually a custom domain to be able to put people into a campaign. And it is one of the unsung, in my book, features of UpViral. Because even at the starter level, the pricing of the starter level in UpViral, you get one custom domain, which comes with free SSL. But it gives you the ability to point your campaign at something that is branded for you. It means, Michael says it means rich in Dutch. Yes! Rich. Richkin. Is the K pronounced, or is it I don't know. We'll talk about that tomorrow, Michael, on the Mastermind. But the custom domain puts your branding, right? So Michael's custom domain uses his domain for branding. Instead of using the UpViral links that says upvir.al, which some people think is Albania, which some people think is a scamming domain, or their other socially.io, this puts your branding in the campaign. It puts your domain. Now, some of the other tools charge you $149 or more to be able to have custom domains. They think that's an advanced feature, and UpViral even calls it an advanced feature, but I use it on every campaign, and I urge you to do the same. Michael said yes, so the K is pronounced. Is there a checklist for UpViral launches? I'm a fan of process recipes. If I had more available time, I'd join the group. The value is obvious. Thank you, Michael. Stephen, thank you, Stephen. I've been saying Michael so much, I'm lost. I do have a checklist, as a matter of fact. It is something that you can purchase. I have recently moved it over to a tool called ClickUp. It was inside of Asana, but I couldn't find a way to transfer it to other people in Asana other than paying a fortune for and I didn't want to go there. Long story. But it is in ClickUp, and it is available if you want to purchase it. I will give you the link after this is over, because I don't have a fancy button to do that. I don't. I do have a button that shows my... And of course that's probably not going to work. There it is! Planet Mitch, shoot for the moon. Michael says... The subdomain means with Michael. Ridgekin. Ridgekin. I'm just good at butchering names, and that's okay, because it's all about the value, right? Anyway, custom domains are freaking amazing. Yes, it's a little complicated to set up the first one. I was working with a client over the weekend, and long story short, we were using Google domains, and then I found out she actually was using Cloudflare, and once I figured out she was using Cloudflare, bam, it was really easy. We just went into Cloudflare and created it. It can be complicated because of people not understanding the DNS system within the internet, but it is not hard once you get it going. So for those of you who are over on Periscope, and I'm looking at my restream, there's 2 people from Periscope. Oh, now there's 1 person from Periscope. Sorry, I lost you. Lenny said checklist. Yes. So that checklist is available. And by the way, Stephen, it's free if you join the Movers Mastermind. You don't have to pay extra for it. So Michael says, I use Cloudflare also. Did you build your custom domain in Cloudflare? Cloudflare? Why does it suddenly sound funny? If you're managing your domain, if you're using Cloudflare, then essentially you're managing your DNS through Cloudflare, not your original host, which is where people get messed up, which is how this client got messed up over the weekend. Doesn't matter what you do over there, it has to be in Cloudflare, because Cloudflare basically sits on top of your website. It replicates it, and it manages all the routing to all the servers that they use and all that kind of stuff. So I learned the lesson over the weekend that should be the first question that I ask people, because I often ask them where they're hosting their domain. And I'm going to turn this light off because it It drives me crazy while we're on live. It's shining right in my eyes. Pardon me. But I ask people where they're hosting where they bought their domain, and they often say GoDaddy or one of those services, but I then forget to ask them whether they're using Cloudflare, because Cloudflare is actually on top of that. Michael said, all of my domains use Cloudflare, and yes, you get free SSL. You also get free SSL with UpViral custom domains, because actually I think they use Cloudflare for what they're doing. But if you weren't using Cloudflare, it would add SSL to your subdomain. Anyway. So that's one of the advantages, but the biggest advantage is that it is your branding instead of UpViral's branding, and that's, to me, key. Now, I don't know, I've never done any kind of a study, and I don't know what real numbers would apply, but there are people who look at every URL suspiciously, and if it says upvir.al as to where you're sending people for the campaign, then some people, and I don't know what that percentage is, but some people are not going to sign up. So that's a big reason for using a custom domain. Steven says, I run DigitalOcean VPSs, virtual private servers, on Cloudflare. I don't know what DigitalOcean is. I don't know. Nice stack. Anyway, interesting, Stephen. I am just so got Michael on the brain. Thanks for that, Stephen. It's good to see all of y'all here. I took last week off kind of in terms of doing live stuff because I wanted to focus on a couple of infrastructural kinds of things. And so hopefully you guys missed me. If you didn't, then I get it. And I noticed there's this stuttering thing going on again, and it drives me bonkers. I don't know what's causing that. I don't know whether it's a hard drive problem or what. I got too many things going on. I do have this program running, but that's not supposed to run in... Anyway, you guys don't care. I care because I want a consistent stream. So anyway, does anybody have any questions? That's my tip of the day. Use a custom domain. Use your own branding. Find ways of using your branding inside of your campaigns. And what I started to say a little while ago, I think, was that it really matters when you are hosting your campaign on UpViral. If you're using a different page builder like ClickFunnels, then you already have your domain inside of ClickFunnels. You've already got your domain in there for your URLs. But that doesn't mean you can't actually use a custom domain to make sure that the link that people share is your branding. Michael says, if you buy a domain, use these name servers. Actually, the ones that Cloudflare sends me to are two different ones. But yes. And that probably has to do with where you're located. Lenny asks, are you running any client campaigns besides the student ones? The client one that I'm working on over the weekend is a challenge, and I need to get back to that because it's supposed to start pre-challenge today. And it's a 5-day challenge with a contest embedded in it. It is this young lady's first campaign. I'm building it inside my UpViral. And we haggled a good bit over the landing page design. And her goal was to just get it running. She is very big in branding, and she is very big in copywriting, and she actually, the prize is a page design review. And so creating the page is important to her, and we're using an UpViral page. I've forgotten. We're using the blank canvas for this one, which I have not used before. And we're making a couple of little minor modifications to the way she wanted the page to look, but I think she's going to be really happy with it. And we are going to crank that out. I've got to finish making that happen today, as a matter of fact, because she wants to launch it, because the challenge actually starts next Monday. And so that's the one I'm currently working on. I was trying to remember what the title is. I can't even. I'm in brain fog for titles and names and stuff apparently today, because it's not ready to show you, or I might show you it. I will definitely show the movers tomorrow, I believe. But we are on a short time frame. We agreed to do it several weeks ago. She's been putting together the materials for the challenge, and so the launch is kind of on a short rope. But that's okay. She brings the designer. Do you offer that as a service? Lenny asks. I am not a designer. I will tell you that right up front. I am not a designer. Primarily what I'm doing is using, typical building blocks or UpViral landing pages. We decided not to build it in WordPress, which is her normal process. We wanted to just get it done and not try to confuse the process with connecting widgets and all of that kind of malarkey. So it is built in UpViral to her specs. So no, my background, Lenny, is as a computer programmer, and for anybody that knows, computer programmers cannot design their way out of a paper bag. We typically are graphically challenged, so what I'd like to do is use what somebody else has built and just try to wordsmith it. So I'm happy that she is bringing her own design. Primarily, my thought process, again, is that it is not the design that convinces people to sign up for something. They don't want it to look amateurish, but they don't care about the fonts. They don't care about all the colors. They don't care, etc., about the design. What they want is the content. And if you got decent content, decent challenge going on, they'll sign up. So that's my theory on that process. Do you guys notice any difference in the quality, or is it, other than it feels like, it's stuttering on my end. I'm just looking at the Restream feed, and it doesn't seem to be stuttering as much as actually the Ecamm feed. But I noticed that I don't think my face is as high def, because I lowered it from 1080 to 720, but maybe Facebook has lowered the quality anyway. Michael asks, you're a developer? Well, I was a developer. I started as a developer my very first semester in college back in 1975. Back in the day when I was doing that, computers were the size of a room, unless you had a mini computer, which was, I don't know, the mini computer of back in the day was the size of this cabinet, and the one that I was learning on had paper tape, which I don't, imagine a spool of wide masking tape, for example, with holes in it. And you would write your program, type it into a machine which spit out this paper tape, and if you made a mistake, you had to start over. It was a pain in the batucus. So I was a developer until 2010 when Boeing, whom I worked for right out of college for 32 years, said, goodbye, we don't need your services anymore, we're shipping your job overseas. So I have a good background in computer development, but I haven't done it in 10 years. Michael said I look good, and Lenny says I don't pay attention to the details. I'm on mobile, and it's fair enough. Thank you. So yes, I do have a software development background, which is why I get so fanatical about things like UpViral implementing stuff that doesn't work. Because that, as I told my wife this morning, that would never ever happen if we knew there were bugs. We didn't release something until we knew the the known bugs were fixed. We would delay implementations, and I don't always see that happening with software developers, and I put a lot of developers in that bailiwick, not just UpViral. And sometimes you have to, sometimes developers, vendors release software because they need to implement it for something else to happen, and I get that. It just sometimes is frustrating from this side when things have bugs in them that you would like to not see have bugs in them. Because it's just nicer when you're doing something and you don't have to run into bugs. And so, look at the new reports inside of UpViral. They've tweaked the custom actions a little bit, although they did not do the full implementation of what I've been testing for the custom actions. I have not gotten in to test that yet this morning. But there are some changes coming to the custom actions as well. But also the good news is that there is a reset stats, which I have not yet tested either. I know that was implemented with the reports. So the reports are much better than they were before. They're not exactly where I want them, but we're on a lightning ride to better reports in the new system. So I do give them kudos. It's better than what we had before by leaps and bounds, and rockets and asteroids and stuff like that. whatever analogies I can come up with. So let me know if you have any questions. The key today was to suggest to you that if you're going to implement something, to use custom domains. And the second part of that is I'm really excited about the reports inside of UpViral getting a major upgrade today. Even though I'm a little wishing there were a couple of things that worked better. But it is a light years ahead of where it was last week. So let's compliment them for that. Kudos. I wish everything was perfect when it was implemented, but that's not the way life happens. Steven says, I do graphics, and let me move this. Can I move this just a little bit? Move it. Because my bug is in the way. I do graphics, videos, coding, condo research, and politics. Hard to finish anything or do a great job. I don't wear a lot of hats. It does do. There are a lot of people that say they can multitask, and the more I find, the better I am when I reduce the number of things that I'm working on, including I have the book over there. That's the white one, right? Come on, fingers move. The white one right there. It's called The One Thing. which I need to do more of. Just focus on one thing and let everything else go. I have a lot of trouble with that. Michael asked, what microphone do I use? This is, and I'm smiling because I used to have it a little closer to my mouth. And I have rearranged my desk a little bit. I have a third monitor over here that was just gathering dust, so I started using it. But that means that the microphone jack, I can't move it any closer without bumping into the monitor that's on this side. So Astro's still here. He's just kind of out of place right now, and I'm going to work on that. But this is a Rode Podcaster, and that was actually given to me by Rode Microphones many years ago, and I love it. It sounds great for me. Microphones, there's a lot to going into microphones. I was sponsored by Rode. I do have another Rode thing over there. That is not a Rode thing. I used to have a Rode microphone up there in a box. But that whole cabinet's still got to get rearranged and potentially lit. But it is a Rode microphone. Lenny says, get your own programmer to make premium UpViral browser plugin, fixing everything wrong with UpViral, especially the manual math. Oh, all right, Lenny. If I were rich enough to do that. The camera is a simple USB. It is the, why am I having trouble? It's the 920 by, not Lex, who is that? Why am I forgetting the name of that? Logitech 920, that's what it is. Incredibly popular webcam. Actually, I intend to actually switch over and use my iPhone. Since you're asking about that, Michael, I just got a note from my client about her campaign. But if I do this, if I plug in my iPhone and I go over to this tool and I switch my camera now, I can now use my camera, but watch this. So, it's upside down. Why is it upside down? I don't want to do that. So if I start using my iPhone, do you notice that the colors are much more vibrant, the green and the blue? And especially if I switch over to red, you can see the red. Right now it's kind of dim. If I boost it, it gets really bright, right? But if I switch over to the camera that I had before, the green is not as bright and the red is a little dimmer, but it seems to work better. But anyway, at some point I'm thinking about just mounting my smartphone, my iPhone. You see how much brighter that is and how much clearer or more red my face is? And I'm getting hot now, so that's a little bit more realistic. But the colors are better. And it's actually sharper. The whole thing is sharper. Which if you're really going to camera effects, you want the background to be blurry, but I don't know that I care one way or the other right now. Anyway, I'm toying with changing to this camera instead. Way off topic kind of conversation, right? And for those of you, I always talk about my Stream Decks. So when I want the comments to go away, I can do this button. And when I want to go to my desktop, I can do this button. And the camera will go away. So anyway, Stream Deck is really fun. So let me switch back. Anybody got any other questions? Way off topic. But that's the fun of playing with webcams and broadcasts and stuff. Stream Deck. Oh, Roderick. Hi, Roderick. Do you have any case studies of YouTube ads being used with a campaign? Actually, I don't. I don't know of anybody that has done YouTube ads. I have done a campaign with a gentleman he reached over 500,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. And he ended up running a campaign and brought in over 22,000 leads by simply promoting it on his YouTube channel once or twice. I've forgotten. So I'm of the UpViral case studies, I'm not aware of any that are YouTubers or have used YouTube ads, but I don't know why that would be any different as long as you can bring people to a link. It shouldn't really matter whether it's a YouTube ad or a Google ad or a Facebook ad, as long as you're hitting your target market. That looks really deep, bright, doesn't it? Great question, and thank you, Roderick. If you're interested, if you want to chat more about that, let me know over here. You can find me on YouTube, Giveaway Rocket on YouTube. I don't know if I actually have, or Planet Mitch, probably. You can message me on the channel that you see me on, or you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/PlanetMitch. That is my shortcut to my messenger and stuff. Planet Mitch is me. That top shelf really looks dark, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that's why I had it on blue. But the top shelf is really dark. Long story there. I spent, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 hours working on those silly lights. And the problem is all of these shelves, I don't know if you can hear me if I walk over here. All of these shelves, the lights are right underneath here. But there isn't an overhang up there. And so the lights are really on the bottom here, and therefore it's darker. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear me, but I kind of like the green too, but the green shows up it shows up icky on this webcam. This is the one that it was really the test. If I switch over to the iPhone, and yes, I know we're way off topic again. If I switch over to the iPhone, that green is so much more vivid. And yes, I know it's very bright right now. I could turn it down, but the green just is very much different depending upon which camera you're using. So anyway, that's that. Oh, you can hear me over there? So maybe I should do the show from over there. Steven says, hiring VAs should be part of any marketing program. I lost $3,500 to my first partner and put hires on hold indefinitely. I actually have, I'm going to turn on my fan, although I hope it doesn't make a lot of noise. It's getting warm in here. When I close all the doors, this room gets really warm with all these computers. Do the green on the Copilot show on brand. Actually, well, it looks more blue like the UpViral thing, doesn't it? I mean, you see, I'm not showing my desktop. It does look very much like the UpViral green-blue, doesn't it? Isn't that interesting? It's too bright, though. I should tone it down. If I tone it down, that's too dark. Maybe that. That's a good point. Michael says I have to go. Thanks for popping in, Michael. Thanks for asking questions, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow on the Movers Mastermind. For those of you who want to join the Movers Mastermind, Roderick, if you're interested, you want more information, go to giveawayrocket.com/join. That's giveawayrocket.com/join. I can do this. giveawayrocket.com/join. Now my hair's all messed up. It's COVID hair, by the way. I'm cutting my own hair. Doesn't look too bad. Long story. Thanks for tuning in. Anybody have any questions before I sign off and go do some real work? Yeah, and yes, Stephen, by the way, to your comment about the VAs, I have 2 VAs that I'm working on bringing into my business right now, and my goal is to let them focus on some of the, I don't want to say menial work, but the repetitive work, the stuff that just slows me down, so that I can work on doing some more high-level stuff in terms of planning and executing and growing my business. So the reason I'm bringing them in is to help me get more stuff done. And one of the things I've learned over the weekend is I'm going to have to hire a bookkeeper. Long story short, but I am not very good at keeping my books up to date. Let's just say that. Gamers have great background lighting. I like the interlocking tiles that show speech or patterns. Well, these actually would do that. I don't know. If I do this, if I do it now it does what I'm talking. Ha 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 ha. Isn't that fun? I find it kind of annoying, actually. It might be fun for gamers or for playing music, but in terms of talking, I find it rather annoying. I don't like the flashing light bit. But these are just LED lights, Stephen, that the gamers are using. That's where I kind of grabbed the idea. It gets a little silly. But yeah, this particular set of lights does that. The one that's up at the top is a different set of lights. Get the VAs to clip your videos. Contest questions answered in short clips. Yes, I know. And you're absolutely right. Having somebody go in and potentially edit the clips would be much better than the way I'm doing it now, because then the distraction isn't there about the colored lights and stuff. There's a lot of things, Lenny, that I could do if I really just freaking get organized and implement. So, all right, so let's wrap this up, seeing as I'm rambling, and I still have to laugh, Stephen, by the way, in terms of the lighting, because Mark at Up Viral said that the lights sometimes look like prostitute's house or something, and next time he does that, I'm going to say, well, how would you know? Anyway. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, you can always ask them by connecting with me on Facebook Messenger. You can get me over here on facebook.com/planetmitch, or giveawayrocket.com. There's a contact form. You can always find ways to connect with me. I appreciate each and every one of you commenting and asking questions, because that makes it more like a conversation, and it's a lot less like me preaching. Moderation on all things. Moving bookcase lighting is too big and distracting and fast. Key is slow and subdued. Yes, there is another setting. Speaking of that, it's really hard to see this little thing. And there's actually an app on the phone. If I use that instead, because you can set up there are other things like this one, Stephen, that is called Breathe, right? There's Candlelight too, which I don't think is really Candlelight-esque enough, but anyway, you can do all kinds of stuff with these things. They're kind of fun. The DIY one that I did is much more of a slow fade. But anyway, you'll see it changes colors. They change colors on a slow fade. Lenny says, you'll have to add your lights to the store. You can go get them on Amazon. I don't need to have them in my store. Thanks, Lenny. I have a hard enough time selling other stuff. Maybe I'd make more money on selling lights. I don't know. You're funny, Lenny. Really funny. All right, so let's wrap this up, seeing as how we are way down in the geek land. Thank you, Stephen. You're techie, Mitch. That's absolutely true. I'm computer background. The tech things really fascinate me. Even, the Stream Deck and the eCam and the lights and putting all this together so that I can do presentations and fun stuff. It is kind of what I love to do sometimes. And sometimes it's a distraction and gets me away from really focusing on doing the things that make me money. Let's not go there. All right. An hour is enough. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you again on Wednesday. Tomorrow is the Co-Pilot Show, which has to do with Facebook advertising, and I'm not in charge of that show. I'm surprised they're even still having me on as a guest, because I have nothing to contribute. Well, I might have a few things to say, but I'm not in charge of talking about Facebook advertising tomorrow, so that's going to be an interesting Co-Pilot show. I'm eager to see where they go with that, and I'll try to bite my tongue if I have any objections. Check out the new UpViral updates today. Go check them out if you have UpViral. If you don't have UpViral, go to buyupviral.com and buy it from me. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to send you out. Let's go In-N-Out Burger. Let's go with my new widget. Or it's an old widget, but good to see you. I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll see you again on Wednesday this same time. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, please let me know. And join the movers.
Oh my gosh. Mitch, do you hear yourself?
That's a great piece of advice.
Bye! Bye, everybody!
Bye.
Bye.
I had a fun time. Now turn that off.